Two men journey to the bars and restaurants of Scandinavia to find amazing beers, always with the same question.
Hey, what's on tap?
It's time to find out.
Back again, day 19, drinking beer.
Christmas stress is getting to me.
Is it?
I'm not done with my preparations.
Me either. We know the beautiful thing is I'm not buying any presents this year, but I'm so stressed about not buying them.
Oof.
I'm kidding.
I don't think I've ever been done with my Christmas preparations on the 19th of December ever.
I'm usually done by the 1st of December. Dude, I start shopping for Christmas presents on like September, October, because I don't want to get hit with like I got to buy like all of these presents at the exact same time and completely screw up my budget. So I really start looking early on to try to like space out that cost. So I don't have that hit all at once.
I mean, I have the budget.
Yeah, it's not about. I mean, it's also like sure, but if I can disperse the cost over months, then it doesn't.
That is smart.
Feel as much of a hit in January when I also get that New Year's Eve bill.
Right. So for today's beer, we have a beer that you wrapped.
I did, and I wrapped it poorly because I was almost out of.
It is a bottle. I can already see that is the New Holland Dragon's Milk variation.
It is, and you know what the funny part is it's not even a stout.
It is Tales of Gold, a bourbon barrel-aged goldenale with milk sugar.
Right, and so before we had the Crimson one.
Crimson Keep.
Crimson Keep, which was a Crimson...
Imperial Red Ale.
Imperial Red Ale.
And then outside of the Christmas calendar, you and I shared a bottle of regular Dragon's Milk. Or
the Reserve 3.
Which, it wasn't called s'mores, but it had all the s'mores ingredients.
Yes. So what we're finding is... there's apparently a whole gallery of Dragon's Milk beers that are not stouts.
Right. And it's 11% ABV.
Yeah, this is the one thing they all have in common is they're very high ABV beers. And then this one was a goldenale with milk
sugar. I wouldn't be surprised if
bourbon barrel aged. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was called a white stout as a style on Untapped.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I would be very surprised if it wasn't called a white stout as well. It is. It doesn't say anything like that on the label, although it is called Myths of Treasure.
I was wrong. It's called Golden Ale Other.
That also makes sense.
The wonderful Other. That could be anything.
Yeah, it just smells like a golden ale. Like a lager kind of beery beer flavor. There's no...
I don't get that much bourbon barrel.
I don't get any bourbon barrel aging either. This isn't cold. This is almost room temperature in some ways. I mean, it's slightly below, so it should be able to express the bourbon barrel aging pretty easily off of the pour. But yeah, I don't get much of that. So cheers, man. Yeah, I do get the bourbon barrel aging in the flavor.
Yep.
It's quite nice. I don't get the... You said there's lactose in this?
I think so.
Milk sugar. I don't get the milk sugar as much, but I definitely get that kind of old ale, bourbon barrel aged old ale kind of flavor.
Yep.
Which is kind of one of my sweet spots.
Yeah.
It kind of speaks to me. Although we haven't had what was it? Founders.
Is it curmudgeon? No, it's not.
No, it's not curmudgeon. It's I'm gonna call it dirty bastard, but that's what it's called. It's called
something bastard, right?
Backwoods bastard.
Backwoods bastard.
Yeah, backwoods bastard. That is really my.
Haven't had that this year.
They haven't had it released this year. Mm-hmm. It's kind of surprising, but this is really nice. This reminds me of that in a lot of ways.
Yeah, definitely. What it gives me a lot of vibes is from a beer style that has kind of gone the way of the dodo, and it's American Strong Ale.
Yeah.
Nothing is really called American Strong Ale anymore, but Stones... Was it Stones? Double Bastard.
Mm-hmm.
that was a good example of an American strong ale, which was kind of a catch-all for these stronger caramel ales, often bourbon barrel-aged or barrel-aged, that didn't fit into any other category. So they were also highly hopped. This one isn't.
It's not highly hopped, but it does have a strong bourbon barrel aged backbone to it.
Right, without the other characteristics. So like because it's not a stout, it doesn't fit into that category. So when you bourbon barrel age something that isn't a barley wine or a stout, it kind of falls into this old ale, American strong ale kind of bucket.
And it's really good. It is it's very drinkable. I mean, it's 11%.
Yes,
but it doesn't come across as 11%. I think it's pretty light, pretty smooth.
The bourbon aspect is really good.
Yeah. Get some more barrel notes. I think would make it better. It was a little more barrely.
Sure.
A little more oaky, I guess, because I feel like the goldenale could pick up more characters from that. It's got a lot of caramel in there, but I would like it to hit more of the oak kind of nature of the barrels.
What makes me a little bit sad is I'm sitting here wishing for it to be an imperial stout, because the bourbon barrel aging is solid, and it definitely erases this imperial gold ale. It improves it
100%.
But an improvement of this kind would have made magic wonders in a stout or a barley wine.
I'm gonna say, for me, it feels like almost a barley wine.
Yeah.
It's like a wannabe barley wine. It's not quite barley wine there, but it's like barley wine adjacent. But yeah, I get where you're thinking stouts, but I'm definitely going barley wine.
Yeah, so I need to challenge myself not to think of this in a traditional sense of a style that would be barrel aged. I need to force myself into thinking golden ale, and when I manage to do that, that's when it goes, wow, this is an amazing beer, and not a wannabe or a or something that is lacking. So I'm going to improve the rating based on like that personal attempt to put it in the correct category.
Yes.
So it's going to get a weak 4.25.
That's exactly where I was landing on. It was a 4.25.
Yeah.
I think it's. I think if you think American barley wine with barrel aging, you're going to be, and you like that style, you're going to be pretty happy with this, because there's a lot of those sweet caramel notes. It's not as pronounced as that style is, but it's definitely what we call a kissing cousin.
Yeah, but this is where I want to challenge
you. It is adjacent to that.
And I agree with that, but this is where I want to challenge you, because if you're expecting a bourbon barrel-aged barley wine, you're gonna get disappointed.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's not that. But if you're trying to, like, oh my God, what would a bourbon barrel-aged golden ale taste like? It tastes kind of like a very light, not too aggressive, like bourbon barrel-aged American barley wine in a lot of ways.
Right, but that's in some sense a failed American barley wine.
I understand what you're saying. It does a disservice to this beer in that way.
Yeah, putting it in that pigeonhole does it a disservice.
Right.
It needs to it needs to be investigated and like approached as a golden ale, because this is one of the best golden ales ever.
Yeah,
Because golden ales in their core are drinkable, boring, quaffable.
It falls into that. It's a beer style.
Yeah.
What does it taste like? It tastes like beer. Gotcha. Beer.
Gotcha. And this is one of the best golden ales ever.
Yeah.
But it's not a very good barley wine. Because it's not.
You're right. I think that's why we both gave it a 4.25.
Yeah.
Because it is fun to drink. It is very approachable. The bourbon barrel aging is very there. It's up front. It's quite a nice experience. So I'm really glad I was able to get these 3 Dragon's Milk beers for us to try.
Exactly. And I don't know if we talked about it on the show when we drank the Red Keep, Crimson Keep, or if you and I just babbled outside of the show when we drank the Dragon's Milk Reserve, the Imperial Stout. But Dragon's Milk has a nostalgic history with me because they were difficult to get way back, and then Systembolaget started having them, and now they've disappeared again. So you bringing them two to the show and one for us to drink has been a really nice reacquaintance with New Holland. That definitely doesn't export a lot to Sweden and Europe.
It is hard to find New Holland outside of, I think the UK gets quite a bit. But outside of that, you don't really see it in the bottle shops. And then when I saw these 3 in a bottle shop, I was like, oh, I've only thought of Dragon's Milk as a stout. And it's interesting that of the 3 beers, the stout was the worst.
Yeah.
You would think, oh, that's going to be the winner, because that's kind of what you think of when you think Dragon's Milk. And it was by far the worst of the 3.
Agreed.
This one is, this and the Imperial Red Ale were quite a lot of fun to try. And I'm really glad we got to try them.
Especially fun.
Yeah. All right.
You can find us online at whatsonthappodcast.com, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. Please rate us on Spotify.
Yes.
We have a fun number of listeners, but no one rates.
I know. We need more ratings on there.
So we don't show up in anywhere.
But we don't show up enough.
So we get listener numbers, but no interaction.
Exactly.
That's sad.
All right. So until next time.
Keep drinking, you dum-dums.